gentlemen, 3 days ago, our Deputy Army Chief General Rahul Singh said that during Operation Sindoor, India was fighting 3 enemies: Pakistan, China and Turkey. Today, more damning proof has emerged of this nefarious nexus. And it comes not from India, but from France. French military and intelligence officials have found that China deployed its embassies and defense attaches to spread doubts about the performance of the French-made Rafale jets after India and Pakistan's clashes in May. Smarting from the injuries inflicted both to its military hardware and global reputation by Indian forces and ammunition, Beijing's defense attaches led a charge to undermine Rafale sales and coax buyers to choose Chinese planes instead. Remember how Chinese missiles used by Pakistan failed to detonate and were found almost intact? Or the made in China missile defense system that couldn't intercept any of Indian missiles and drones? Of course, China needed a face-saving exercise to salvage their own battered reputation. So one understands the dragon's sinister plot to sabotage the reputation of jets that help India's decisive victories. But pay attention and you will see a very similar case in what China is propagating and what the Congress party in India has been peddling. The BJP has spotted many telling parallels to allege that the Congress's views align with those of hostile nations, not just China, even Pakistan. Remember, it is Pakistan that claimed that it had shot down Indian Rafales. Not a single person in the Indian defense or political establishment has corroborated the claims. And yet the Congress leaders were falling all over each other to give handle to Pakistan.
हमारे उकाब झपटे और आनन फानन 5 जहाज जिनमें 3 राफेल उनको मार कराया और उनको ऊंधे मुंह वो कश्मीर पर जाकर गिरे, बठिंडा में जाके गिरे.
రాఫెల్ యుద్ధ విమానాలు మన పాకిస్తాన్ కూల్చింది. ఎన్ని కూల్చిందో రాఫెల్ గురించి చెప్పమంటే ఈ రోజు చర్చ లేదు. ఈ రోజు మన దేశం కాదని ఇతర దేశాల నుంచి రాఫెల్ యుద్ధ విమానాలను కొనుగోలు చేసిన మోడీ గారు మీరు జవాబు చెప్పండి. మన పాకిస్తాన్ తో జరిగిన యుద్ధంలో ఎన్ని రాఫెల్ యుద్ధ విమానాలు పాకిస్తాన్ నేలగూల్చిందో మీరు లెక్క చెప్పండి.
और ये चाइना के 5-6 हजार ड्रोन हिंदुस्तान में भेजे गए. उसको गिराने के लिए हमने 15-15 लाख का मिसाइल उसके ऊपर छोड़ा, उसको ध्वस्त करने के लिए डाला गया. ऐसी बहुत सारी चर्चा है. हमारे राफेल 4 राफेल या 3 राफेल गिराए गए, ऐसी चर्चा है.
राफेल है ये भाई, वो मंगाया गया है.
आप राफेल ले आए, नींबू मिर्च बांधकर खड़ी किए हुए हैं. आपको याद होगा, मैंने नहीं बांधा है, वो बांधा है, इस केंद्र की सरकार ने बांधा है. रक्षा मंत्री ने नींबू मिर्च बांधकर खड़ा किया हुआ है.
Congress's compulsion to believe the enemy and not its own country is explained by BJP as being fueled by the party's 2008 secret MOU with China's Communist Party. But while that pact may be secret, the party's support for hostile nations has been quite overt. You don't need to go too far back. Rahul Gandhi and his team have been in overdrive to populate social media with Narendra surrender narrative, something that even Pakistan has not said so far. 3 years ago, when Indian soldiers were giving it back to Chinese soldiers in Tawang, Arunachal Pradesh, Rahul Gandhi said, "हमारे जवान सीमा पर पिट रहे हैं." In 2020, during Galwan face-off 2, Rahul Gandhi accused Prime Minister Modi of surrendering Indian territory to China. And to complete the circle with Rafale bashing, Rahul Gandhi was also forced to apologize for wrongly linking Rafale order to Chaukidar Chor hai phrase, just like China.
चाइना के बारे में एक सवाल नहीं पूछा जाएगा. जिन्होंने 2000 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर हिंदुस्तान का उठा लिया, जिन्होंने हिंदुस्तान के 20 जवानों को शहीद किया, जो हमारे जवानों को अरुणाचल प्रदेश में पीट रहे हैं, मैंने कहा हिंदुस्तान की प्रेस मुझसे इनके बारे में एक सवाल नहीं पूछेगी.
Chinese, listen to the Chinese. All the components of this phone are made in China. The network that has produced this phone is made in China. is owned by China. All the components of this phone is owned by China. Chinese shirt, pair of Chinese to China. Because some Chinese youngster is owned by China. By China. China has that the Chinese, China, that Chinese, China is China, Chinese motors, Chinese optics, Chinese batteries, Chinese. Challenge the Chinese.
34 mentions of China in one speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, the legitimate question we are asking on the News Hour tonight, is it a case of India fighting not just three enemies at one border, but also the enemies within? And that brings me to the Motorola legitimate question. Are the similarities between the Congress and Chinese claims pure coincidence, or does it indicate some collusion? That's the question, and that's the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the News Hour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
Joining the debate tonight, Shehzad Poonawalla, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Sushant Sareen, Senior Fellow at the ORF, Strategic Expert, Abhijit Iyer Mitra, also a Strategic Expert, Senior Fellow at the IPCS, Amit Jamai, National Spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, Professor Anwar Pasha, National Spokesperson of the RJD, joining us in just a bit, having a little problem with his connection. But my first question goes to Sanjay Jha, leader of the Congress Party, a man who has waxed eloquent on the issue of the India-Pakistan face-off recently, and of course the Rafale jets. And I want to ask you, Sanjay Jha, let's cut through the chase. The intelligence report of the French actually talks about China trying to bring down Rafale simply because its business interests, strategic interests were involved. But what was Rahul Gandhi playing at? Is he a salesman for China? Because that's the question people of India are asking, because he didn't speak about India so many times as he did about China. Ye rishta kya kehlata hai?
Navika, good evening, and also to my fellow panelists on the program. I think Rahul Gandhi has raised questions that the Prime Minister should have answered a long time ago. But obviously, the Prime Minister who doesn't address a press conference in 11 years will never address the leader of the opposition. So let's look at the facts on the ground. Before I start responding to your question, it's important to tell your viewers that we have had a hat trick of diplomatic disasters by the Modi government. Along with the SCO, along with Quad, now you even have BRICS, and India is one of the founders of the BRICS. And even BRICS has said that while they condemn the Pahalgam terror attack, they have refused to name Pakistan. If in India's post-independence history of any government, if there's been any weak government, it is the Narendra Modi government. It can't even get Pakistan to be included as a country that perpetrated the Pahalgam attack. I think your viewers need to know that. Point number 2, I believe more than the French intelligence, Navika, I believe General Anil Chauhan, the Chief of Defense Staff, who was, I think in my opinion, pragmatic, courageous and honest to say that we did have jets go down when Operation Sindoor happened. It is the tragedy of our democracy that you have a government of Narendra Modi that acts like a muscular Bollywood hero and is unwilling to make a statement if we had any losses. I mean, losses are, by the way, par for the course in any military conflict. I mean, the magnitude can differ. Nobody's asking the government to, kind of make disclosures which will compromise India's national security. But here is a government that uses war for its political dividends. What a shame. And I'll quote you the military attaché from Indonesia, I think Colonel Shiv Kumar, who said that when Operation Sindoor happened, we did lose a few jets. And if that happened, it is not a calamity. It is a conflict we did very well. I think our armed forces did brilliantly well against Pakistan. I think the Modi government is such a weak-kneed, I would call them cowardly government, which we call in India in Hindi as darpok and kair, that they're not even willing to take elementary responsibility or leave it to the armed forces to do the conversation. And here is my point, Navika. Why is the Indian government in a great hurry to say which jets went down? So if they are saying that the Rafales did not go down, are they saying it was MiG or it was the Mirage or is it with the Sukhoi? We need to know. I mean, is Dassault being giving information by the Modi government?
Dr. Sanjay Jha, nobody has either confirmed Rafales have gone down or not gone down. The fact of the matter is, in a battle of the kind that we've had, there would be some losses. But you know what the problem is? And the Congress party, the opposition, is not part of the solution, it is part of the problem. And the problem is that you people would have had a vulture dance if any information would have been given out, because you are more ready to believe China than you are to believe your own military spokespersons who actually came and briefed. You were not ready to believe them. Look at the statements that came on during the time we were still engaging with Pakistan. I have played out all the sound bites of what Congress leaders were saying, and that is why I come to the question, Shehzad Poonawalla. I mean, we are not kindergarten students here that we don't know that when you are in a war situation, you inflict some losses on the other side and they inflict some on yours. But the way the opposition has been going on about it, do you think they would have believed anything that had been said by the government at that time, press conferences or no?
First of all, namaskar to all the panelists, Sushant Bhai, Abhijit, Navika, Yus, Adab to Amit ji, and Ni Hao. This is a Chinese greeting to Sanjay Jha ji. Now, you know, Navika, we established a new normal through Operation Sindoor. First time, even Abhijit will also tell you, Sushant will tell you, that no country, including United States, has managed to hit so hard and deep inside a nuclear powered country. Pakistan's a nuclear powered country. 22 sites were hit as far as Bahawalpur deep in Punjab, not just along the LOC or in POK. And when we hit Pakistan so hard, we were actually obliterating the Chinese sponsored and Chinese made defense system that they use, whether it was the HQ-9 system, whether it was the HQ-16 system, whether it was the JF-17 jets, whether it was the Chinese and Turkish drones and radars. All of this was obliterated, and you don't need further proof. Shahbaz Sharif accepted it. The Chinese stock of Chengdu, and I remember Abhijit had given discourse on this, it fell by 10 or 11%, and the Indian defense stocks were up by 10 or 12%, which indicated clearly that who had convincingly won. But Mr. Sanjay Jha, at that time when the DGMO and the same CDS said that we have not surrendered, it was in fact a thrashing of the lifetime Pakistan got, and their DGMO called us. Did you believe the same, Mr. Chauhan? I'm glad that this time you're calling Mr. CDS Chauhan courageous. Usually you all call him Sadak Ka Gunda, you call the army chief Sadak Ka Gunda. Now look, China is, sir, I did not interrupt you. China is bound to save, sir, I did not interrupt you. Please have the patience. Ni hao. Now, anyhow, let me say that China will definitely.
आदाब, मोदी जी लाहौर गए हुए थे.
हाँ हाँ, आदाब अर्ज है आपको भी. आदाब और चाइना, नी हाउ के बीच में ही आप फंसे रहो. Now, Sanjay ji, Navika, can I please have my full
नवाज शरीफ की शादी नहीं.
Ma'am, let me complete. It's not fair.
उसके परिवार की शादी बात होती है.
All right, complete.
हाँ, let me complete. बिलावल के साथ कौन घूम रहा था हमने देखा है. Anyways, let me not get diverted. Let me complete my point. It is natural that the Chinese, to defend their defense industrial complex, will have propaganda and disinformation campaign. But the point is that today we are not fighting three front, as the armed forces have said. I want to change that little bit. We are fighting 3.5 front. The three fronts, the armed forces have already said. The half front is the one that is sitting here and whose name should be not Indian National Congress, INC. It should be I need Chinese MOU. I need Chinese money. China का लेकर माल करते हैं उनके झंडे को आगे. ये झंडा और प्रोपेगेंडा उन्हीं का बढ़ाते हैं. And this is not the first time. Now we can look at the series. Who said that Galwan में हमने bravery नहीं दिखाई? Who was the one who belittled our Indian systems and they said Chinese drones were great? Who was the one who said that China ने सेना की पिटाई कर दी अरुणाचल प्रदेश में?
Absolutely, and we read out.
They showed Dhoka and had the.
We read out those parts.
And last Navika.
No, Shehzad, you can't take 15 minutes, but let me.
I'm not taking 15 seconds. I have to make my point. I have to counter.
No, these are too many points for anyone to absorb in one go.
Navika, just last 20 seconds. Navika, there is a history to this. They have not
said
only,
that nobody
even
from
before
China
the
came into
MOU,
the Indian
even
territory.
before the MOU was signed, these are the same people who gave the UNSCC to China. These are the people who gave Chinese troops food when they were taking over Tibet. These are the people who did not take any strong action. In fact, in 1962, these are the people. These are the people.
All right,
upside.
but let me get in Ameek Jamai. Ameek Jamai, I want to ask you, when the French intelligence report says that there was an overdrive by China, we were not just fighting Pakistan, we were also looking at Turkey and China. And these people have come out and stated what our country, our military, our government has been saying. Today, somewhere, does the opposition feel a little defensive about making these charges that were uncalled for, that were unwarranted? क्या इतना lack of trust है कि foreign agency कहेगी तो आप मानेंगे, आपके अपनी सरकार, अपनी armed forces कुछ कहे तो आप नहीं मानेंगे?
देखिए नाविका मैम, भारत का जो विपक्ष है ना वो अमेरिका का प्रवक्ता है, ना डसॉल्ट का प्रवक्ता है, ना फ्रेंच की जो इंटेलिजेंस एजेंसीज हैं उनके हम प्रवक्ता हैं, और ना हम हथियारों के लाइजनर हैं कि हम बैठ के दुनिया की कंपनियों को यहां पे हम डिफेंड करेंगे। हमारा सवाल सिर्फ इतना है कि हमारे चाहे सीडीएस अनिल चौहान साहब हों, हमारे एपी सिंह साहब जो हमारे एयर चीफ थे, जितनी बातें उन्होंने कही हैं उसी बातों पे भारत का विश्वास है, भारत का यकीन है, हम सब लोगों का स्टैंड है। आज नाविका जी जो बात आप तीनों फ्रंट की बात कह रही हैं, तीनों फ्रंट से हमें लड़ना पड़ेगा या खतरा हमारे सामने है, ये बात भारत के विपक्ष ने कही थी। तो जब हम चाइना का नाम ले रहे थे, जब हम पाकिस्तान के साथ टर्की का नाम ले रहे थे और हम ये कह रहे थे कि आइए पार्लियामेंट सेशन में, आइए ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग में प्रधानमंत्री चेयर करे, और जो खतरा है हम लोग देश के एलओपी, आप जानते हैं एलओपी एक शैडो प्राइम मिनिस्टर की हैसियत होती है, तो सब लोग मिलकर इस खतरे से मुकाबला करें। लेकिन हमें ऐसा लग रहा है कि भारत के लोग जो सत्ता में बैठे हैं और उनके जो एजेंट्स हैं, वो पाकिस्तान चाइना से ना लड़के वो राहुल गांधी को गाली देना चाहते हैं, वो अखिलेश यादव जी को 100 बातें उन्हें दुत्कारना चाहते हैं। लड़ाई वो नहीं है, लड़ाई ये है कि आज खुदा न खास्ता, भगवान न करे, ईश्वर न करे, कोई बड़ा खतरा हमारे सामने आता है, भारत कैसे इकट्ठा होगा? हमारे पास जहाजों की नंबर्स क्या हैं? अगली जो खेप है वो कैसे आएगी? टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर है कि नहीं है? जो उसकी कोडिंग्स हैं वो हमारी एयरफोर्स के पास आई है कि नहीं है? ये तो सुशांत भाई इसके एक्सपर्ट है, वो आगे बताएंगे। एक आखिरी बात नाविका मैम,
नहीं, आप चाहते हैं कि एक पावर पॉइंट प्रेजेंटेशन ऑपोजिशन को भी देनी चाहिए, so that all these military secrets are put on the internet for everybody to watch? You know, Sushant Sareen, I'm not getting it. Do they not understand war strategies, defense strategies, or are they just so innocent that they actually stand by the country but say very misleading statements when they are in public? Which of this is true?
Navika, I think they know what they are doing, and what they are doing is that they, yes, I will accept them at the face value when they say that they are very proud of what the armed forces have managed to do and beaten up the Pakistanis. But the corollary of that is to then also give some credit to the government of the day, which also took the decision for taking those actions. That they don't want to do. So what they want to do is play, this dichotomous game, where on the one hand, they will say the right things as far as the armed forces are concerned, because that, if they don't do that, then they lose votes. But because they don't want to lose votes, they also have to then criticize the government of the day. So they will try and, pick whatever they can to try and create some kind of doubt, some kind of suspicion. Again, this is pure and simple politics. So I don't take these carping sounds very seriously. These are sounds which people like Shehzad have to take seriously, not people like me. Frankly, these things don't matter. Secondly, on the entire controversy, which Sanjay Jha was talking about, the third great defeat of this government, because now the BRICS declaration has also come and not mentioned Pakistan. I'm sure Sanjay would have read the BRICS declaration. The BRICS declaration talks about tariff wars in the world, but does not even mention the United States. The BRICS declaration talks about the conflict in Iran or against Iran, but does not mention Israel or the United States in the context of that conflict. Now, what does that mean? So there are these diplomatic wranglings which go on in these kind of statements, and these statements neither reflect the success of a foreign policy, nor do they reflect the failure of a foreign policy. And I'm sure Sanjay knows it, but like I said in my first point, that he also has to make some carping sound. And finally, on this whole Rafale question, did you lose an aircraft, did you not? For me, this is an irrelevant issue. And I'll tell you why it's an irrelevant issue. The Rafale is a fabulous aircraft. It's a top-of-the-line aircraft. It's a fabulous aircraft. Now, if there has been a loss of 1 or 2 or 3 or 20 or 50 or 100, as Abhijit says, the entire inventory of Rafales in the world have been wiped out by Pakistanis, I don't care. My important thing for me is that there was a mission, there was a military mission which was achieved right to 100%. There was nothing wrong in what we did. Everything went according to plan, and we really kicked the Pakistani backsides. Now, that is what is the important thing as far as I am concerned. Now, whether an aircraft fell or did not fall, if it fell, whether it fell because the Pakistanis fired at it, or if I go by the reports which have appeared today, that this was an aircraft which was probably a case of friendly fire, a fratricide as they call it. I would imagine that's friendly fire. There was some communication link breakdown. I don't know what it was. Abhijit is the techie out here. He's the geek. He might be able to shed more light on that. I don't know what happened. Whether it was 1, 2, 3 aircraft, what the aircraft model was, it's not important for me, simply because for me what was important is the military mission which was achieved, which achieved 100%.
But then they're calling it, Narendra, surrender. Did we surrender? And that is the question that I want to ask Abhijit. Abhijit, did we surrender? Is it important? Not to us, because if one aircraft went down, and that is the information that's coming out in reports, why is that important and so important? And has the opposition just focused on that point rather than the fact that we've scored a victory, especially in light of Tahavvur Rana's, revelations coming out now? Tahavvur Rana has spoken about Pakistan's involvement in 26/11. इन्होंने तो तब कुछ किया नहीं. Now that India has taken revenge for Pahalgam, they are raising the questions of how many aircraft, which make of aircraft, where all did we go wrong? Why is this narrative? Is there a China link? I'm asking in all seriousness.
Well, Navika, 3 points. First, I don't know if there is a China link, but the real question is, why doesn't the Congress, despite the great political baggage, make that MOU public? All they really need to do is make that MOU public, and any question of the China link will go away. We still don't know what Rahul's obsession with China is. But the Congress seems to be an absolute master at scoring own goals. This was a high-intensity skirmish, right? What happened in 1971 was a war. You had 93,000 prisoners. You had completely surrounded Lahore. But you declared, ceasefire immediately. So what? It's surrender Indira then. Then Indira should be the goddess of surrender. Surrendereshwari Gandhi. And then everybody is Rahul Surrendereshwar Gandhi and Rajiv Surrendereshwar Gandhi. We can go on like this. So, it defies its own logic. Sometimes the Congress doesn't realize how deep a trap it can fall into on its own logic. Number one. Number two, you see, in war, losses happen. We lost a lot of soldiers in 71. We lost a lot of soldiers in 65. We lost a lot of soldiers in 48. The point of a war is, do you achieve your objectives? Did we achieve our objectives? Did we hit all those terror targets and kill a whole load of terrorists? Yes. Did you prevent the Pakistanis from striking any single ground target of any value? Yes, including a visualized, as in a televised intercept of a ballistic missile by the Akash system. Did you then go and inflict massive ground damage on the Pakistanis? Yes. Are you going to lose aircraft assets, whatever in the process? Yes. How does that equal surrender? Like we've decided, if it is Narendra surrender, then it is Indira Surrendereshwari Gandhi. Okay. Point number 3. The report that has come out in this avion chasse, which basically means combat aviation in French, it does raise a few questions which, the Air Force will have to answer. First, this is a point I keep making. You cannot have blue on blue. You cannot have friendly fire in this day and age. In Balakot, we lost a helicopter which was shot down by our own missile system. This now seems to have happened again. Not a good thing. We still don't know why this has not been addressed 7 years down the line. Second, if that is indeed the case, there is a second aspect that has come out in the Eric Tapier's briefing, which is that the Rafales were operating without a comprehensive communications environment and without being vectored by an AWACS. And that again begs the question, these are things I keep flagging every time on my Twitter, on every podcast I go on every show of yours that I come on, that this has not been happening. This is a major operational gap that needs to be addressed. And we certainly need answers for that. But those are operational answers. Those are answers that the Air Force has to give us. That is not an answer the political leadership has to give us. I will address political questions to the political leadership, operational questions to the operational leadership.
Well said. Sanjay Jha, please respond. If Narendra surrender is the terminology, then what about Indira Gandhi? Abhijit Iyengar's question to you.
I don't respond to every jibe that is made. It is
Why?
vulgar in taste.
Narendra surrender is also a jibe that was made.
Well,
Chaukidar Chor Hai is also a jibe that was made, for which some people had to go to Supreme Court and apologize.
Well, let me tell you, Navika, why Rahul Gandhi, in my opinion, a lot of people will think is rhetoric or hyperbole, but he linked Narendra's surrender to 3 points. Number 1, the way the military ceasefire was announced by Donald Trump on his Truth Social or X. I think it was absolutely shameful that we had the United States intervene and bring the war or the military in.
You still believe that? After knowing everything about Donald Trump, are you that naive?
No, let me finish. I have two more points to make and then we can come in. Can we also discuss here as to why would a very qualified military officer, who is, by the way, holding a senior position, he's in the Indonesian embassy as an attaché of the government, and he says that the political leadership basically constrained our Indian Air Force from taking appropriate decisions. Why isn't this being discussed? Who is the political leadership?
Okay, Abhijit raising his hand, coming to you, Shehzad, but before that also Anwar Pasha. Abhijit, respond.
Navika, do you know under what circumstances the 1971 ceasefire came about? When the UN passed a binding resolution on India and Pakistan, the Chinese were threatening us with their army in the northeast, and the Americans were threatening us with their fleet in the southeast. And that isn't an abject surrender. Seriously? So Trump taking credit for one thing is surrender, but the UN shoving it down to your throat in a binding resolution is not a surrender. I mean, come along here. This is why, I feel I don't even need to counter the INC. The INC counters itself.
Well, Anwar Pasha ji, I'm asking you this with all responsibility. Foreign nations that are inimical to India, and please understand, in foreign policy, you have to keep the appearance of engagement, the diplomatic channels open, but you also have to be absolutely clear, kaun dost hai, kaun dushman hai. And it is very clearly stated that India was facing 3 enemies, not just one. And it is now proven by this intelligence report of France as well. I want to ask you, has the Indian opposition been less than responsible when they have continued the tone and tenor of the debate in India, which focuses more on kya loss hua, kahan surrender hua, rather than how India has performed so well? for which we had to actually send delegations abroad because of the misinformation that was going out by the Indian opposition.
That proves that we failed at the diplomatic front. The sending the delegation to the world to clarify our position, to convince them, it means that the world is not convinced. This is our failure. As far as the enemy is concerned, the government considers the opposition as enemy, not the Pakistan, not America, or not China. The first enemy of the government is, they consider, the BJP considers opposition as the enemy of the nation. When we raise question, when you compromise the security of the country, we have to raise question. This is our country. We cannot let you to take any decision which is going to affect our security. This is our duty. As a citizen of the country, as a responsible opposition, we'll raise question. If government fails, this is our duty to raise the question. Government didn't share the information with opposition. They shy away to share the information with opposition, but they share information with Pakistan. They share information with Trump. They do dealing with Trump. What is this? Why should the opposition should not raise questions? The government is only interested in making this the entire episode I think a tool of getting political mileage.
So you don't mind being the spokesperson for Pakistan and China so long as you get to run down Modi? Well, Shehzad will respond to that, but I just want to put a fact on the table. And Sanjay Jha, listen carefully. Captain Shiv Kumar, India's defense attaché to Indonesia, you know what he said? So India's counter response was precise and non-escalatory. Here again, there is one point I will make later too, that there was an issue of separation of enemy's air defense and destruction of enemy air defense, because the initial call was only to target the terror camps. That was the only political decision in the beginning. But when there was a threat to India that there would be an escalation, we went and destroyed their air bases. Where is the question mark? I really don't understand, but Shehzad.
Now, addressing what Mr. Pasha said, if it is a failure to send our delegation abroad, then Vajpayee ji was sent by the Congress government. So Congress had failed at that time. Secondly, information with the opposition. Who gave information about... Sir, I did. Ma'am, there has to be a limit to how much I am interrupted every time I speak, ma'am. This is not fair to me. Ma'am, it's not fair.
Okay. Pasha ji, let him respond to your earlier questions. I'll give you time for a counter.
All my time goes in trying to just...
All right, Pasha ji, I'm asking him to give the answers to the initial part and then you can respond. Shehzad.
Information to the opposition about the surgical strike was not given by Narendra Modi or Abhijit Iyer Mitra. It was given by the DGMO Mana Kya. Information about Balakot airstrike was not given by Navika and Times Now. It was given by the Air Force Chief Mana Kya. अच्छा, अब इन्होंने बोला डरपोक है, कायर है. हाँ हाँ, सबसे बेस्ट एक्शन तो 26/11 में, और जब इन दोनों राइट हैंड साइड के दोनों डिब्बों की सरकार थी, संजय झा एंड मिस्टर पाशा की. 26/11 के बाद तो मूव मोस्ट फेवर्ड नेशन, व्हाट अ स्ट्रॉन्ग एक्शन. देन 1968, 828 square kilometer given to Pakistan, strong action. 1971, Abhijit has described how we gave away 90,000 prisoners of war, strong action. 94, we did not do nuclear test, strong action. Anyways, it is 4,200. You know what is 4,200? The number of days Sanjay Jha has been consistently wrong. यही संजय झा जो आज डिप्लोमेटिक डिजास्टर बोल रहे हैं, he said Maldives policy failed. Today Maldives is saying India's closest ally. Sanjay Jha said Sri Lanka policy failed. Sri Lanka first came to India after the new government came to power. He said that G7 we are not being invited. G7 we were invited, and Canada Prime Minister said why we need to be invited. Russia Pakistan का MOU हो गया, Congress said. They fought out a fake press release of America which never existed. These people are the Pinocchios of Indian politics. They keep lying about everything. But I just have one question for Amik Bhai finally. Amik Bhai said, हमने बोला था पहले 3 front पे. Sir, if China is the front, one of front, who has been given money from China? RGF. Take a stand on it. Who has signed the MOU with the Chinese?
Amik Jamai.
It is the Congress. Take a stand on it.
मैंने इसीलिए नविका जी बहुत ही गंभीर देश की बहस है, राष्ट्र की बहस है, मुल्क के मुकद्दर की बात है. मैंने कहा कि आपका टारगेट पाकिस्तान नहीं है. पाकिस्तान टारगेट होता तो आप दुश्मन मुल्कों को इंफॉर्मेशन लीक नहीं कर रहे होते, नंबर 1.
कौन सा
नंबर 2 मैं ये कहना चाह रहा
कौन सा
हूं
information
कि
बताइए?
ब्रिक्स की बैठक में सब लोग गए।
कौन सा इंफॉर्मेशन बताइए?
अरे आपने जयशंकर जी ने इंफॉर्मेशन दिया कि हम हमला करने
कौन सा
वाले हैं।
बताइए, कौन सा इंफॉर्मेशन?
अरे इजराइल
को छोड़ो, कौन सा इंफॉर्मेशन दिया बताओ?
नहीं, इजराइल गजा पे ईरान पे हमला किया। अच्छा सुनिए, इजराइल ने गजा पे और ईरान पे हमला किया, बता के किया कि कहां करेंगे कहां नहीं करेंगे।
हमने भी बता के नहीं किया,
जयशंकर जी ने जो भी
करने के बाद बताया,
उनके डीजीएमओ को
करने के बाद बताया। करने के बाद बताना और बता के करना दोनों अलग है।
कि ये इसकी जरूरत नहीं थी कि आने देखिए ये भारत को कमजोर दिखाता है। हम डिफेंस में नहीं करेंगे, हम यहां नहीं करेंगे, हम वहां करेंगे। अरे आप
26/11 में क्या कर दिया बता दो?
कौन है नंबर 1?
26/11 में क्या क्या बता दो?
प्रधानमंत्री की जो इमेज नीचे गई है, डाउन हुई है, दुनिया
इमेज नीचे गई है। आप तो ये चाहते हैं ना कि उनकी इमेज नीचे जाए। आपको कहां से दर्द हो गया? बट सुशांत सरी, द क्वेश्चन आई एम रेजिंग इज, इनको जितना मर्जी बता दो, इन्होंने बिलीव तो किसी चीज को करना नहीं है, तो फिर इनको बताकर फायदा क्या है? ये आज भी यही कह रहे हैं कि पहले पाकिस्तान को बता दिया, ये आज भी यही कह रहे हैं हमारे तो 5 जहाज गिर गए, ये आज भी यही कह रहे हैं कि हम पाकिस्तान से डर गए। मैं आई जस्ट वांट टू आस्क यू, व्हाट इज द पॉइंट ऑफ एंगेजिंग विद एन ऑपोजिशन दैट despite whatever is told to them will go back and believe in what they want to believe in?
Navika, I can't understand why you are asking me this question. You are engaging with them. These are guys who raise the same issue over and over and over again in the last month and a half. Not a word has changed. Amit Jamai raises the same old questions. Sanjay Jha brings in some new things, but otherwise his basic point of reference is the same old one. Professor Pasha is doing the same old thing. Now Professor Pasha has come up with a new theory that if you send a delegation of members of parliament to engage with other countries, then that signals that your diplomacy had failed. Pakistan was also sending a delegation. That means their diplomacy had also failed. Now what is
Sushant Bhai.
This, I don't expect somebody as distinguished a professor as Mr. Pasha to talk like this. There has to be some reasonableness. The same thing is being repeated. Why did Dr. Jaishankar inform the Pakistanis in advance? He didn't. He didn't tell the Pakistanis in advance. It is very clear that you went and you bombed the hell out of the terrorist training camps. And after that, the armed forces in India came out and announced that they had hit the terrorist training camps. Dr. Jaishankar says that we had told them at the start of the operation, which means that while the operation was going on, you told them that, look, we have hit these places.
No, and he had said, and he also made the reference to Pahalgam. When Pahalgam happened, they said a lesson would be taught. Now, is that called, pre-operation information being given to Pakistan? I really don't know whether we are a bunch of mature political parties or just some schoolboys debating this. Omar Farooq Bande has a question for you, and he says India's biggest danger is internal enemies who back enemies beyond the borders. Ritik Panda says this is a clear pattern, no coincidence what Rahul Gandhi says about China. Surendran Kailasan says Congress and China speak the same language. And therefore, Sanjay Jha, once again I want to ask you, please respond and tell these viewers who are sending these questions, where does the opposition really stand? Do you really have India's interests at heart?
Navika, let me tell you that it is the propaganda of the Bharatiya Janata Party, which is an authoritarian government, which uses every...
So why haven't you disclosed your 2008 MOU with China 17 years later? Why haven't you done that if you have nothing to hide? Abhijit?
Well, Navika, the Congress party has won 3 significant wars for this country.
Congress has won wars.
If today anybody raises
Congress has won wars
on the opposition,
Indira Gandhi फायर करने गई थी, नेहरू जी गए थे,
मोदी नहीं जीते, आर्म फोर्सेस जीते हैं, लेकिन यहाँ कांग्रेस wins. Sanjay Jha, if the defense forces have been, literally by your statement brought to a naught. Abhijit? Freudian
We
slip.
have a fascist government in India.
Freudian slip, fascist slip. What is this?
They want to
Navika,
destroy
we're
the
talking about,
opposition.
again, like I said, I don't need the BJP. Shehzad doesn't have to be here to trap the BJP because, our man does it very well by himself. This is the former president of the party. Her father actually fought with the Nazis in Russia. Kisko fascist bula rahe? The
RSS has been inspired by the Nazis.
We did a social media poll, a quick sense of what people think. China doubts Rafale. So does Congress? Pure coincidence? Yes, say 33%, but no, say 62%. No view on this, 5% of the people. Look at where people stand really on this entire issue. And ladies and gentlemen, I have only one thing to say. We've put out the facts by the Indian Defence Forces, the facts by the Indian political leaders from the government. We've seen intelligence report. We've seen now international reports coming out and putting out the statements. Does the opposition believe either, any of the above, anything? Or are they just wedded to the idea to show the government down, to show Modi down? Are they only going to be interested in the rhetoric, not the facts? And then, when the questions on transparency are asked, nobody has a word to say about the deal between China and Congress. Why is the MOU still a secret? Why is the demand for transparency, whether how many Rafales have fallen down, more important than a deal with a foreign power like China by an Indian political party? Different strokes for different folks. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, waiting for an answer. Thank you very much to all my panelists for joining me on debate number 1.